Hi everyone! Today we are doing Week 2, Worksheet 4 for Math, Fractions, Skill 3, 25J. Here our instructions say equivalent fractions. Directions. Fill in the missing numerator to make equivalent fractions. So equivalent just means the same. Remember, we like the word equivalent. It kind of sounds like equal. Equal means numbers that are the same. The first one is done as an example. So here we're looking at our numerators, filling that part in. Remember, your numerator, as I wrote up here, is your top number, your denominator is your bottom. So this is how many pieces out of how many it's cut up into. So this is going to look a little bit trickier though, because they're only showing you the fraction bars to be equal. So if we look here, we've got 4/10. And if you'll notice that they cut this up into pieces that would be equal to tenths. And we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 of them. And then we look over here, and we've got 2 pieces, 1, 2, and these would be out of fifths. So this is 2/5. So 4/10 equals 2/5. So then if we go over to number 2, we already know that our top one is 2/3. So you'll see our denominator is 3, so that number is going to stay the same as it is here. But now we need to know how many of those thirds do we have, and we've got 1 piece, 2 piece. So you're kind of looking for how many pieces it is that we have. So here we've got 2 pieces of the thirds. So now I need to know how many sixths I have down here. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4. And this is very similar to what we did before with the fraction bars, because if you'll notice, if you drew those lines that we did before, you'll notice that these shapes are exactly the same length. So they're the same going down. And that's what this says, equal, to make the same fraction. So now we're going to look over here. We have 4 as our denominator here, and we got to figure out how many of these do we have. So we have 1, 2, 3. So that's why we put our 3. So there's 3 pieces, and their denominator is 4. So now we got to figure out how many of a denominator of 8 do we have. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And it might even be smart to double check that, so we'll just count one more time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 3/4 equals 6/8. All right. Moving on to number 4, and then you're going to try these on your own. We have 8. Ooh, and this time it's the first one that we don't know. So we have 8, and we have 1/2. So if you'll look down here, we only have one of these bars. So that's where this is kind of easy. It already tells us you have 1, your denominator's 2, you only have 1, so there's 1. 1 out of 2, 1/2. For here, we know our denominator is 8, so our 8's already on the bottom, but we now need to know how many of these pieces do we have. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4. So 4/8 is equal to 1/2. This worksheet shouldn't be too hard as long as you just remember that you're counting to see how many of those do we have. And there is a back. There's only 16 problems for this one, so this one shouldn't be too hard at all. Good luck.